It's called Sex Panther by Odeon. It's illegal in 9 countries. Yep, it's made with bits of real panther, so you know it's good.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer. Jeremy Greene is alongside. A happy Wednesday morning to you all. What?
It's not Wednesday.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's the day the calendar says.
Yeah.
That's not the day it is.
Oh, it's McRib Day.
It's McRib Day. It's early Christmas McRib Day.
We are in the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. It is McRib Day. It's also Wednesday. It's also,
Power Rankings Day?
I was going to say Week 8 Eve, as we get ready for the Thursday night game between the Arizona Cardinals and the Green Bay Packers, who will have, hopefully, a receiver by the time the game rolls around.
We'd like for them to have a receiver.
Right.
Because right now it's looking strikingly like, is Sterling Sharp still available? Could we call him?
Donald Driver, has he got a job?
Greg Jennings. I can do this right. Mark Chimura.
Jordy Nelson. Where's Jordy? We know that was one of Aaron Rodgers' favorites.
I know Mark Chimura. I can make a call.
You know him?
I do.
Really?
Yeah, we met through some group on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
Nice guy.
Is this like the Broken Down Football Players Club or something?
A, you can kiss my whole ass. B, he does an ESPN show in Green Bay.
Very cool.
Funny guy.
Cool. Yeah. All right. So anyhow, we got Thursday night football coming up tomorrow night. First 2 pieces of business, though. Release the Kraken. First
God.
win at home. I got my gear on.
Who's shocked that Tank's wearing a mythical creature on a sweatshirt? Does he not strike you as I would wear a mythical being on my shirt guy?
Oh yeah.
Now me, I'm a shorts and a Nike crew neck kind of guy.
What are you talking about? You wear New York Jet shit all the time. Those are mythical creatures.
No,
they pretend to be an NFL football team, but are they really? No.
Kelvin Joyner said T.O. may show up if you ask nicely. Well, see, here's the thing. We already pissed him off once. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
When Nate,
absolutely.
Our former co-host Nate Brown said some things about T.O. that I don't think he would return our calls. I mean, we can do it.
No, he wouldn't.
It was in our open for like a year.
If he had ever heard it. I thought it was hilarious,
well,
too.
His sister heard it. We know that for sure. His sister heard it and was pissed.
Well, see, Nay's wife was like friends with T.O.'s sister. And so she was upset that we used the T.O. slam in our open.
Yeah.
And she wanted us to change it, and Nay was like, don't you change it. Don't you change it 1 second.
Don't you do it.
Anyhow, yeah. So first off, congratulations to the Seattle Kraken for getting their first win at home, beating the Habs. Yes, I've already checked, and no, didthehabswin.com does not exist anymore after it got hacked by a Habs fan. And, of course, congratulations to the Atlanta Braves, who opened up the World Series last night with a 6-2 victory over the Houston Astros. Charlie Morton, I mean, he did great things. He broke his leg and still came out and faced 3 batters. And
that's a bad break for the Atlanta Braves.
Oh, another one.
Oh, you got to turn my damn board back on.
Another one. Bad break.
I don't have a rim shot over here, so I don't have one of those anymore.
But Atlanta Braves fans should be happy. They're up 1-0 in the series, and of course, Game 2 will be coming up tonight on ESPN Asheville, just a couple hours after our radio show this afternoon, 3 to 5 every weekday afternoon on ESPN Asheville. Yes, we're glad everybody has transitioned over to the YouTube stream with the radio show.
YouTube
it's been a whole lot of fun.
Been going very nicely.
Yep.
People are taking notice. I will be honest with you. One of the funniest things for me is to look at our viewership map, because after you do this for so many days, they'll give you one of those.
Okay.
And Asheville is really red, which is good. Red is good. Gray is bad.
Right.
Asheville's really red. There's a nice little hotbed around Raleigh and Charlotte. and then the state of Ohio looks like a stoplight. And I will never understand that. We talk shit about the Bengals for 6 months. By the way, stop sending your Bengal fan friends to talk shit about things I said 6 months ago because none of them respond to my challenge.
Right.
We had a series of Bengals fans go, this aged well, talking about my take on Jamar Chase. Well, thanks. You're 5 weeks too late, but okay. And I've issued the same challenge to all of them. If you want to grade 500 players next year, 6 months after the season starts, we'll grade each other. I like my chances.
Yeah.
Loser donates $1,000 to the charity of the winner's choice.
Don't be so salty. You don't have to be salty.
I am salty. I've slept like 6 hours in 4 days.
That's sad.
You're lucky that I'm not in here just breaking
Why did you not go with the plan? We had a plan yesterday for you to go and induce the food coma so you could get some sleep, and you just failed to do so.
Well, I mean, I had a plan. I went into the night with a plan. Go home, eat a McRib, jerk off, go to bed. I did none of those things.
Right.
I failed in all of them. So, oops.
All right, Armchair Commentary says he's going to be sending over division previews for the NHL to us tonight. We'll put them up on the channel. Absolutely. We will appease the hockey fans among you. I'm trying. I mean, last night I actually had a plan that I was going to sit down. I had it all pulled up on the quad box. By the way, we shared the post yesterday. If you don't have the quad box and you've always wondered what we're talking about with the quad box, give that guy a call. Check our Facebook post from yesterday, DC Streams and Justin Harvey. He's got your hookup. But I had it all planned out. It was going to start at 10 o'clock. I was going to stay up late. I was going to try to watch some hockey, maybe learn a little bit. I did.
And so you had a plan, and I had a plan.
Yeah, and we both failed.
And yet, what actually happened is Tank ate a McRib, jerked off, went to bed. So Tank fulfilled my plan, and I didn't.
There was no McRib. I didn't get a McRib. I didn't.
I
didn't do that.
I ate a bowl of Top Ramen, but the rest of that seems pretty accurate. There was some shame and some sadness.
Well,
the dog looked me in the eye. It was weird. She wouldn't even let me take her for a walk this morning. She just pissed in the corner and went back into bed.
Anyhow, it is Power Rankings Day here in the Sportsocracy. I can already tell this is going to be a whole lot of fun. Fire away with your disagreements in the comment section. And
there's some spices in here. Have no fear.
And away we go.
JT Money said you got a tour of Italy. That's the only thing I got wrong. Could be right.
Tour of Italy.
Bottom 10 in NFL power rankings. These teams should look really familiar because it's the same 10 teams it was last week.
Right.
The Houston Shitbird Texans at 32. The Detroit Shitbird Lions at 31. Now, Tank and I have a massive disagreement on the Lions.
Absolutely.
He refuses to put the Lions at 31. Because he really believes that they would beat a series of teams in the NFL.
I do. I believe that they would beat the Houston Texans, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the New York Jets, and the Dolphins.
Well, here's the problem with that. We haven't seen them do it.
I know.
So until you win a game, and it's one thing to be 0-4. You're 0-7.
They're 0-7. I get it, but they faced a tough schedule. And
have they, though?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, they faced a tough schedule. I mean,
I don't know that I agree with you on that.
Oh, come on. Let's see. They got trounced by the Packers. They had, of course, the field goal game with the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh,
then a 2-point game with the Minnesota Vikings, who are a playoff threat.
According to Vegas, they played the hardest schedule in the NFL.
Right. They got shilled by the Bengals and the Rams. The only game on that schedule that they should have won was the Bears game. The others, there are no bad losses in that. Week 1, you lost to San Francisco, and you even made it close at one point. I feel like the Bears game, okay, I'll give you that one, but I don't have the Bears ranked below them.
Oh, we have
I want to put the Bears below them, but
so I just looked at the Vegas Power Rankings.
Yeah.
We have...
These tomatoes aren't even ripe.
We have some crazy shit.
We got Rotten Tomatoes down at the bottom?
We have our first NFL quarterback that actually loses you half a point just by being in the game.
Davis Mills.
No.
Mike White. Yeah, got it.
The New York Jets are the first team in the NFL this season to play a quarterback who actually loses you half a point against the spread just for his presence in it.
Just by him playing.
God, it's hard to pull.
The Jets are my 32.
Yeah, I'm really glad that my life is cool because my sports life blows.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, except for your Denver Oh, sorry. Is it too soon?
Do you realize that I missed 2 of my picks last night by a combined 2 points?
That sucks.
That just makes me want to go fucking kick a pigeon.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy how the spread plays with you like that. You lost 2 games by 2 points? Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, the way I did in the NFL this week.
Hashtag Jets +7.
Yeah, I put the Jets at number 32 this week because they spurned me, and on the little ticker where you count how they moved, I did +7. It's Jets +7.
Indeed.
Jets +7 drops to number 32.
They're bad. I mean, and look, the bottom 4 teams in these power rankings are fucking awful.
Mm-hmm. I have the Detroit Lions. I have the Detroit Lions at 28. I want to have them higher, but I can't. You're 0-7. I get it, but I do think you've played a really tough schedule, and I think you've got a chance to win 3 games this year. So,
and here's the thing: I have an idea. When the playoffs start, I say we get the Houston Texans, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the New York Jets, and the Detroit Lions.
Yeah,
and we play a 4-team playoff
in there. For the number 1 pick.
Nope.
Aw.
And the winner gets to not play next year. That's your reward.
Oh, it's a relegation tournament.
No, because the winner doesn't have to play next year. Good God, those 4 teams are terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, just God awful.
Yeah, they are.
Kevin Vick said, "Don't kick pigeons. They may be undercover government bombs." He's right. The more you know.
Bombs.
The more you know.
It's like they're just landmines.
They are. The more you know.
Good Lord.
Hashtag birds aren't real.
Right. The Chicago Bears are my 27.
Wow, you jumped aggressively. We're just not going to talk about any of it.
We talked about the bottom 5,
so
didn't
they
we?
all suck.
Yeah, I mean, they all suck. What?
Hey, there's
is
your
there
analysis.
any hope? I mean, tell me, what is the hope for the Jacksonville Jaguars? Nothing. They get to play the Houston Texans one more time.
Hey, they all suck goobers.
Yeah.
Sweet. There's your analysis.
Yeah.
On to the Miami Dolphins.
Right, the Miami Dolphins are horrible.
The
I
thing
mean,
about
Tua's
Miami
getting
is
better.
I look at that team and go, you have talent.
Yeah, I mean, at least Tua's had 2 good weeks in a row,
He didn't mean
statistically
to.
speaking.
He didn't mean to.
Well, you know what? I think it's enough for them to look at it and go, well, did you see the story this morning? The Miami Dolphins are ready to pull the trigger on a Deshaun Watson trade, except for what? They want all of the stuff cleared up. Like, Stephen Ross has already signed off on the deal, according to reports, but they want all of this stuff to be cleared up. The only way that's going to happen is if there's a settlement in the civil cases in the next 3 days, and it's not going to happen. So Miami's out. I mean, if there's going to be a deal made before November 7th or November 2nd, it's going to be the Carolina Panthers.
I don't agree with you.
If there's a deal made.
If there's a deal, I think there could be multiple teams. There's another team involved in this. I just can't figure out who it is.
Oh, okay.
Every source I have keeps saying this deal's going to get done. And it may not be with who you think it is.
Okay.
I just don't know who that other team is. I keep coming back to Denver.
Yeah.
But why? Why would you do that?
Because you need a quarterback.
Well, no shit. I got that.
mean,
Thank you,
the
Captain.
Washington
I thought
football
Captain
team would be
Obvious was
one
down
as
the
well.
hall.
The Washington football team would be one as well.
That's another one I keep looking at going,
They can't do that. They can't do that. That'd be a PR nightmare for them.
Well, yesterday was a PR nightmare for them.
Yeah.
By the way, Roger Goodell, I have to say this, and I'm sure we'll talk about this on the ESPN show. Roger Goodell just came out and went, oh, sweet, you want us to release things.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm going to bring it from behind the computer monitor. That's live look at Roger Goodell to what you want.
Uh-huh.
You remember that thing I said of how that's never going to come out because there is something more there?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that believed when the NFL came out and said, nothing to see here, bullshit.
Yep.
Lie.
Of course it is.
That is what a lie sounds like.
Of course it is. The only reason you do that is because there's more shit in there you don't want people to see.
100%.
And that's why Congress is now involved. And they're not going to get anything done.
I was about to say, you know what Roger Goodell said to them? You want to see it again?
You don't see it again? Right. I mean, Congress is trying to get all this stuff released. The NFLPA is trying to get all the stuff released. The cheerleaders organization, they're all in on it. It's not going to happen. Yeah. I mean, you're going to have full-on, like, baseball steroid Mitchell report kind of flexing from Congress to get this done, and it's not worth it, I don't think. Anyhow. Yeah, the Deshaun Watson thing, like I'm gonna stand by what I said. I think if a deal happens before November 2nd, it's gonna be the Carolina Panthers. It apparently won't be the Miami Dolphins because they want everything cleared up, and that's the hurdle that most teams are facing right now. But they're dog food. The
bad.
Dolphins are dog food.
Yeah, they're bad.
Atlanta Falcons at 27.
Kelvin Joyner said he would swap the Seahawks and the Falcons. I mean, I'll be honest with you. You can arrange these 10 teams any way you want to.
Yeah, deck chairs on the Titanic.
Yeah, this is kind of like putting Legos together. Mm-hmm. I don't really care if it's a red block or a blue block.
Right.
It's still going to make a sweet battleship.
I'm trying to see if we have any. I think we both have the same bottom 10.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see how you couldn't.
Right.
To be really honest with you. I mean, is there anything that needs to be discussed with any of these teams that we haven't said ad nauseum? Because there's enough spicy in the top 22 for
I do
for a full hour here.
Roll on.
All right, bottom half.
The
Philadelphia Eagles at 22.
Mm-hmm.
They are the best of the bad teams.
Best of the bad teams.
And I go ahead and tell you, and this hasn't popped up on YouTube yet, so I'm not seeing this live because there's a little bit of a delay.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't have the Panthers any higher than 21.
No.
I couldn't. I mean, with where you're at right now, I cannot have you any higher.
I mean, I have them at 20. And
so what team that I have in front of them do you have behind them?
Let's see. The Broncos.
It's
the Broncos.
Really
the Broncos are one spot behind them.
You really think if the Broncos played them, they could stop that running attack and they could keep Sam upright?
Maybe.
I understand there's no, Von Miller will be out for a while.
Right. Part of this is also projection for me. Part of this is also projection of Christian McCaffrey's going to come back in another week. Hopefully, he'll be eligible to return in week 9. This is as low as I can take them, I think.
21's as low as I could go because I genuinely feel like they're better than the 11 teams beneath them.
Right.
But I mean, not by a lot.
The Broncos couldn't beat the Cleveland Browns B team. So that's where I'm at.
Havoc said Goodell wants Congress to do it so they can oust Snyder. I've actually heard that more than once.
Fine.
That Jeff Bezos is sitting around on a mountain of money just waiting to buy the Washington football team.
He's just waiting. That wouldn't be a bad long-term play.
Yeah, and you know what? And I would love that.
I think it looks ridiculous, though. Why wouldn't you just do it yourself? Why wouldn't you just release the report now?
Because it would get more than him.
Yeah. But it's going to anyway.
And
I mean, if Congress wins and gets their way, it's going to burn down the rest of them anyway.
Do you realize what Jeff Bezos buying the Washington football team would be?
What it would be?
Because there's so many people that just hate him. Most people that they vote with their left hand. You can take that. You can take it however you want to.
I don't care.
That would be the NFL. The NFL to all of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm here for it.
It's capitalism, folks. Capitalism, and this is how it works. Those who have the money get to own all of the things.
Look, I'm a Gordon Gekko, Ronald Reagan Republican. I'm here for it.
Right.
The American dream: pile money up and jump into it like Scrooge McDuck.
Mm-hmm.
That's the American dream.
Yep. Armchair's really upset with me that I put projection into the power rankings. I mean, I got all caps on that one.
Yeah, look, there's a reason that my rankings go on the screen and his don't.
Right.
A, he does not know how to use the devices. I do.
Mm-hmm.
B, if you saw his actual rankings outside, if you saw it on a screen, you would just go, well, no, wait just a motherfucking minute. That doesn't make any sense. Because I do this while we're setting them.
Right.
Then I just throw mine up there anyway.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. I mean, see, I'm going to pull the Keyshawn Johnson. See, these are Tank's power rankings. If you don't want to put projection in the armchair commentary power rankings, then you don't have to. But these are Tank's rankings. It's so stupid.
Wait.
Well, sound the bear makes.
Yep.
That's my new favorite button we have, by the way. I would like to add one button like that every week that just makes me laugh. It may not make another soul laugh,
Right.
but it makes me laugh.
Right. Now, anyhow, I got the Carolina Panthers at 20. You got them at 21. I have the Broncos behind them. Like I said, they couldn't beat the Cleveland B team, so I don't have much hope for the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, but you still had a lot of. First of all, that was played.
Were you about to say a lot of good?
They have a lot of talent.
Yeah, they do.
The Denver Broncos have a lot of talent.
Yeah, the Carolina
In a
Panthers do
league
too.
that has no corners, they have 4.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to keep you in a lot of games.
Mm-hmm.
That, to me, Denver is held back by 2 words. Vic Fangio. That's it.
3 words: Teddy Bridgewater.
Well, that is 3 words, but when it's Teddy's name, it's 2 words.
No shit.
I just had to make sure. I asked you to spell opportunities earlier, and you treated it like it was the damn spelling bee. OPPU.
No, wrong. I do better at writing things down.
We got to recharge your Brave batteries.
It's too early in the morning. Hadn't had my coffee and my cupcake yet.
Oh God! By the way, here's a fun question for the comments. A stereotypical cupcake.
Yep.
All right, like a cupcake you buy at your local bakery. How many bites is that supposed to take? I'll tell you why I'm asking that later, but I want just a smattering of response.
Yep. Regular size cupcake.
Regular, normal, you buy it for a kid's birthday cupcake. How many bites is that supposed to take? Just curious your answers. I'll tell you why later.
Yep.
By the way, do I have chocolate frosting in my beard?
I don't see any. No, I think you're good.
Okay.
I think you're good.
My wife told me to stop picking on you.
Oh, that's fine.
Let's see.
These tomatoes aren't even ripe.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either.
And I don't care.
They're not even ripe.
So far, the consensus is 3. And Jason Trump said a cupcake is no different than a donut. I would probably agree with that.
I mean, there's more surface area to a donut.
My wife said 4.
4?
God, you're
She's
so,
dainty.
I was about to say, you're so
She's
dainty.
she's
and
so
beautiful.
dainty and ladylike.
You are so dainty and
4.
wonderful.
Jason Trump.
Yeah. I literally watched Tank at 8:15 in the morning just go, and he made that noise as he did
Well,
it.
see, I have to when you take giant bites like that. Like I have to make that little flange in the nasal passage go, or the food goes up that way.
I mean, seriously, he just took it and went right into his suck hole.
And I looked at him and went, "What? They're bite sized."
It was without a doubt the grossest thing I've ever seen in my life. That's you want to start a diet plan? There it is. You wake up in the morning and watch Tank just cram one cupcake into his suck hole with his index finger. You will lose weight. I promise. He then looked at me and told me about somebody he used to work with that weighed like 400 pounds. It was like 5'9". And I went, so you.
So you.
Yeah, so you.
Stop that.
Well, here's the thing. I'm 3 bills and in a waist size. You got me by 1 or 2.
I know.
Just throwing it
You're
out
much
there.
taller than I am. though.
It's true. I am.
Anyhow,
It's been one of those fun, just off the rails morning.
Yeah, I love these. Back to the power rankings here. All right, so we've got New England Patriots at 20. I mean, Mac Jones, he's so good.
He's
Saw
very efficient.
Somebody throwing out the stat the other day that he was the first rookie to have 250 yards in 5 straight games or something since, like Justin Herbert and Dak Prescott, and they're trying to swing you to believe that Mac Jones has this superstar franchise quarterback future in front of him. And he doesn't. He's the same guy that we said he would be when he came into the league. That he would look good. He would be efficient. He'd be very accurate. He's not going to stretch the field a whole lot. He's just going to do enough to keep his team in games.
How many points against the spread is Mac Jones worth?
1.
2.
Okay.
The same as Justin Fields, Daniel Jones, half a point better than Jalen Hurts, half a point better than Tua Tagovailoa, and right there with Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I don't disagree with it. I think that's about where he is.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to win you games, but he also won't lose you games. And there is
There's
something to be said for that.
You remember who else was like that at the beginning of his career?
Baker Mayfield.
I was going to say Kirk Cousins. At the very beginning of his career in Washington, that's who he was. He was a guy who's going to come in and not ruin it for you. You know, he had his struggles in big games, and he's got a big one coming up this week, and we'll talk more about the Minnesota Vikings coming up in just a second. But, yeah, I mean, I think New England can be fine with Mac Jones as their quarterback for the next 3-4 years. Beyond that,
I mean, I think he can be their quarterback for 10 years. You're never going to be.
I just don't know if you're hanging on to mediocrity that long. By the time you get to that, there's already been a coaching change. Josh McDaniels is now in charge. And I think,
if you think McDaniels didn't have his hands on this Mac Jones pick, you're drunk.
Oh, I know. But I'm saying it'll be a topic 3 years from now when Josh McDaniels is the head coach of the New England Patriots, and we're saying, when is Mac Jones going to make the turn? Is he going to have the 4th-year leap?
He's just going to be that guy. That's who he is for good.
Yeah.
You're a 2 to 3 point improvement on the spread every week.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never be you'll never be Aaron Rodgers or anything like that. You'll also never be Taylor Heineke or Davis Mills.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's not a slight. It's just who you are.
Yeah. He's the definition of an average yet accurate quarterback.
By the way, T's and P's to New England this week.
Why?
Because they play the Chargers.
In
LA.
I was going down the rabbit hole of, did somebody get hurt and I didn't hear about it?
Nope.
No, it's just, you're going to show up and get shellacked.
You are one pathetic loser.
So, who's next?
By the way, Armchair Commentary said, is he not Alex Smith without the arm? I would say he's Alex Smith without the athleticism that he had before the knee injury.
Alex Smith was way more mobile.
Way more mobile.
Yeah.
But other than that, very apt comparison.
Yeah.
Next team on the power rankings is the Denver Broncos. Team we've already talked about. You know, losing Von Miller, I hope it's not for an extended period of time.
Right. You get Jerry Jeudy back this week, so.
Yeah, I mean, and that will help.
It will.
They have weapons. They just don't really have the point guy. This is another team like New England. You're going to beat average teams.
Mm-hmm.
They should have beaten. I mean, I could make the argument they should have beaten Cleveland last week.
Yeah.
So, and that was on the road. Havoc said, "Are we forgetting that Brady looked a lot like Mac Jones playing wise when he was young?" No, he didn't. I'll be honest with you. I remember it vividly. I still remember the game where Lewis knocked Drew Bledsoe into the next universe.
Right.
It took about 3 weeks before I went, this kid is better than Drew Bledsoe, and I don't know why nobody's noticing that. It was much like the Kurt Warner thing. It didn't take you long to go, this Warner feller is pretty good. Now, Brady was not Brady for several years.
Right.
But that team was stupidly talented, and the defense was really good.
I mean, Denver Broncos play the Washington football team this week. It's a great chance to get a win.
Yeah.
That defense going up against the Washington football team,
I like Denver. Or I like
I mean, what was it last? Yeah, what was it last week? They had 6 empty trips inside the red zone against the Packers.
Oh, by the way, don't ask me what just reminded me of this. But we have started our contest. It's Bring Your Buddy to Vegas. If you invite somebody, they wind up in the stream, they comment, put your name, their name. I don't care which one of you does it. Just put both of your names in the comments, not in the chat. The chat disappears. After, I don't know, a week, I would have to go all the way through it, and ain't nobody got time for that. So put it in the comments. Those are very tangible and easy to see. I know Armchair had a few of them yesterday on the ESPN show. Every one of those you do is an entry into our Wolfpack in Vegas trip, bachelor party, draft, all those things. I cannot promise you I can get you into the draft. I have tried to get clarity on that, but they will not commit to anything like that because of
coronavirus.
There you go.
Yeah.
They won't commit to that. I know definitively they will let me in. That's all I got. So I won't have any further clarity on that. If for nothing else, you can hang out with my wife and all of my bachelor party friends on night one of the draft. I don't know how any of that's
they going to let me in? They're going to let me into the draft?
Sure, they probably would.
I could hang back in. I could hang back with the crew. It was just, yeah. let you go, and I could entertain the people.
Hey, now that's a good idea.
Right.
If for nothing else, because it keeps me from having to send another email.
Exactly. And we can get clarification on that later.
Yeah, because when they send emails back, they're written like divorce decrees. There's a lot of addendums and if this happens, then this. Here's what I can tell you definitively. We're going to have a hell of a time in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I will try to not kill you. If you drink with me, it might not end well for you.
Oh, yeah.
And let me give you a solid piece of advice, and I'm going to look directly into the camera for this. If my wife says, hey, let's go shot for shot drinking tequila, tell her no. Tell her, nope. As a matter of fact, I have a button for that. Just look her dead in the face and go, no,
No,
bad idea.
Yeah, that's how you end up on the roof of the Bellagio.
Yeah, that's how you end up on the roof of the SoFi Stadium in L.A. and you don't know how the fuck you got there. Like, wait, I was in Vegas when I fell asleep. How did I wind up in L.A.? Or you wind up in Asheville.
Yeah.
And you don't live in Asheville. I came from Canada. How did I end up in Asheville? This is bullshit.
So the Denver Broncos, I had them at 21 in my power rankings.
Denver's fine. They're
all right.
And Colin Cowherd used to call this the ham sandwich tier.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, will it keep you alive? Yes. Have you ever gotten really excited about a ham sandwich? No. You know what I'm really excited about?
The McRib.
I've already figured out how we're going to. Somebody asked in the comments if this is where you come to see me eat a McRib. Physically, they won't give you one before 10:30. I done called and asked. You can't even play the, hey, I'm a very tiny local celebrity card.
Yeah.
They tell you to go fuck yourself on that.
Are you sure?
What?
Are you? Did you play that card?
Oh,
okay.
I've never played that card ever.
You should.
Corey Short played it for us one
He
time,
did.
which was the shit.
Yeah, we've got some local. What did he call? What did he call it? Did he call us dignitaries? We got some local dignitaries that want to try the.
He basically said,
the
"I got two
cardboard
local
burger
celebrities that want to try your plant-based bullshit burger," and we did. And guess what? It tastes like lettuce, tomato, and bullshit. It's impossible. Yeah, it's impossible to eat it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyhow.
Pittsburgh Steelers are at 18.
Yeah. I got them at 17 in my power rankings. They're fine. They're okay. And they got a hell of a pass rush. I'm still not concerned or still not sold on Ben Roethlisberger and what he can turn in for the rest of the season. But they're fine.
Okay, this is Pittsburgh's. They are what they are.
Right.
I mean, I think Pittsburgh is going to be a back-end playoff contender. If the schedule wasn't so brutal, I would say they're going to make the playoffs because of Mike Tomlin, who after yesterday is my new favorite person. Hey, Mike, you going to take the USC job?
Never say never, but never.
But never. Love that. Love that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a fantastic response.
So you think they're a back-end playoff team?
I think they're close. I do. I mean, you got to realize 7 teams in the AFC are making the playoffs. All right, take out the division winners. All right, so you got Buffalo, Tennessee, a team in the North, and the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Raiders, the Colts, another team in the North, and the Chiefs contending for that other spot.
Mm-hmm.
The Steelers are 9. If Pat Mahomes got abducted by space aliens, you would take the Chiefs out.
Yeah. Okay.
If Carson Wentz's ankle does what, it does.
Yeah. Okay. There is a path.
I mean, there's a path.
Yeah, there's a
it
clear
would
path.
require some things, but it would be there.
Yeah, it could be there.
By the way, this is I promise you this is the last food-related aside. Our McDonald's out here has an Arby's right beside it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Ron George has said Arby's country rib sandwich is 100 times better than the McRib, like 7 times. I think it's time for a showdown.
Maybe so.
I think that might be how we have to do this.
Okay.
Will you eat whichever one I don't want?
Well, I know you're not going to want the McRib, or you're going to want the McRib. So, yeah, I'm in.
All right. You know what? Lunchtime today. we're going to have us a good old-fashioned showdown.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing the Arby's rib sandwich against the McRib. And I'm going to make this funny.
It's going to be funny when your dreams are shattered and you go, wow, this Arby's sandwich is way better than this moose knuckle meat.
It's bunny noses and squirrel tails. I don't care. I don't give a shit what it is.
All right. Ahead of the Pittsburgh Steelers at the top of the bottom half.
Kelvin Joyner said one day we should just have a food day. That's actually happened one time before. And it turned into the fattest thing you have ever seen on screen. Because it was me, Tank, and Brian basically just talking about all the foods we wanted to eat. And we literally ended that show and called Uber Eats and went, just bring us all the
everything.
Things. Just go to 5 restaurants, ask them, what do you just have laying around, and put it in the bag. Because these 3 fat asses will eat it.
Patrick Holtz, he's lost because he can't get it. He can't get the McRib until November 1. Have you called? Have you asked? Have you said, hey, did you get the McRib shipment in yet?
It's on the app.
Yeah. Can I have it? Can you give it to me?
Give it to me, baby. I know you bring it with you. Yeah, it's on the app. I do know that.
Mm-hmm.
I think every McDonald's up here has it. Here's what I'm pissed about. That fucking clown didn't call me and tell me. I've been broadcasting that you're bringing the McRib back. Nobody felt the urge to go, hey, dum-dum, you could have had one a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like Grimace took his tour with me.
Gross.
Grimace is a butt plug.
Gross.
I'm just throwing that out there.
He's not. He's a taste bud. Don't ruin it.
He's a butt plug.
Don't ruin it. That's why they call him Grimace.
That's 100%. That's why they call him Grimace. You do with that what you will. 17 in our power rankings is the San Francisco 4th and Niners.
This is going perfectly to plan.
Oh, yeah, this is going swimmingly. We basically said we're going to have to tap dance around the bottom 16 because they all suck.
Oh, yeah. So you got the San Francisco 49ers.
I'm going to die before this is all said and done.
See, I've got the Steelers ahead of the 49ers. Steelers in my 17.
They played right now.
49ers in my 18. I think so.
I'm not. Because the Steelers have the 49ers have one thing the Steelers don't have.
Okay.
Deebo Samuel. And an ability to run the ball.
Okay. I mean, I got Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool. So.
You have to get him the ball.
Yeah.
I trust Trey Lance or Jimmy Garoppolo to do that more than Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah. You have one weapon. I have 2 weapons. Oh, by the way, I have a better running back than you. I think I got a better pass rush than you, too.
2.7 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm. He's been better the last couple of weeks.
One of those games was against the fucking Seahawks.
I don't care. Don't care. I got the better running back. I got the better quarterback. I got the better coach. Ooh,
I dispute none of those things.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to fight me for a second on better coach.
No.
Kyle Shanahan clearly behind Mike Tomlin in your book because he isn't on.
I would say so.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to find a cough drop so I don't sit there and die.
Yeah, you're struggling over there.
I am.
I've been down on the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I think they're fine. The San Francisco 49ers, on the other hand, I just don't know where you're headed. I'm still stuck on the quarterback battle. Is it time for Trey Lance? Is it not time or is it time for Jimmy Garoppolo to step down? Or for them to remove him? The weapons are hurt. I'm a little bit higher on the Steelers than I am on the 49ers right now. But your bottom half of the league is not very surprising.
It's all dog water.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard for me not to have the New Orleans Saints in the bottom half of the league, but it is what it is. They're my 16. Jeremy's still looking for. He's still like. He's like, where did my cough drops go?
They're here somewhere. Yeah, I know they are.
Yeah, I think you're out of luck there, bud. We're gonna have to wait till Wait till after the show
Well,
to
the
find
good thing
those.
is we have this graphic so nobody can see me.
All right, then flop up the next little portion here as you continue to look for your Luden's cough drops. You've got the Cleveland Browns at 16. My 16 was the New Orleans Saints. I get it. The Browns are horrible, and I probably should have them below them, but even though they just beat the Denver Broncos, I still feel like the Cleveland Browns are better. They're going to get healthier. Jarvis Landry, the pass rush is good. Where did you go? Like, I can't even see him now. He's like below the desk, hunting for scraps of something.
All right, I give up.
Yeah, thank you. Cleveland Browns at number 16 for you, Jeremy.
They're the best. Well, you can look at this one of two ways. They're either the best horribly average team in the NFL, or they're the worst half-ass team in the league. There's really no in-between for me. I mean, and you can call it whichever one you want, because they're both the same to me.
Mm-hmm.
Neither one of those is really different. It's just a question of which do you prefer?
Right.
Would you rather be considered the best shitty team or the worst half-ass team?
I think we'll go worst half-ass team. We're a cup half full kind of an organization. No, we're not. We're the Cleveland Browns. Of course, they got to be the best of the shitty teams.
Did you hide my cough drops?
I did not touch your cough drops, man. You gotta let it go.
I can't let it go because I can't stop coming.
Just grin and bear it. Grit your teeth.
I think that's Grimace's tagline.
Another shot at Grimace.
I said I was going to do better today.
Yeah.
You want to play good, you try to play good. I don't know that I played very good.
Right.
All right, let's just keep drinking liquids and see if that gets it to go away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kevin Vick. That'd be a great idea. Why don't you tell Brandy to bring us some as she makes her way into the studio?
I'm not going to say no,
right?
Frankly, because I'm convinced that Tank hid my good ones.
I did not,
and that is ultimately going to lead to me getting very angry.
I did not touch your cough drops. I promise you.
I don't believe you.
I wouldn't do that. Anyhow, ahead of the Cleveland Browns at number 15.
The Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota's high side's really good.
Mm-hmm. That's why I have them higher.
The corner. Here's the thing with Minnesota. I don't buy their coach at all.
Okay.
But what is it that I constantly say good teams could do? Score points easily and get after the quarterback. Mm-hmm. What does this team do?
Score points easily and get after the quarterback.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And the fact that your offense is multifaceted as well really, really helps.
Do I think that this team is really the 15th best team in the league? I don't know.
Yes.
But only because there's only 15 good teams in the league, and I think Minnesota's good. I don't think they're great. I think they're good.
No, they're not great. That's why they're ranked at 15 in the power rankings. I have them a little higher on mine. I believe in that offense a little bit more. Kirk Cousins is playing at an elite level, and nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care, which is still baffling to me. I mean, I read the stat earlier today. He's made 59 appearances for the Minnesota Vikings. And in those 59 appearances, he has completed 70% of his passes. And his touchdown to interception ratio is phenomenal. He is an elite level quarterback, and nobody cares. It's because he's on a team that doesn't win because they give up as many points as they can score, and they're just mediocre. If that defense was better, which is what I'd knock Mike Zimmer on, then maybe we would think about Kirk Cousins differently.
The thing that scares me the most about the Minnesota Vikings is Kirk Cousins has been one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Yep.
And they're still mediocre.
Yep.
That makes me nervous.
As it should.
By the way, we have breaking news.
Who? I hit my button. Oh, it switched my page. I hate this thing so much.
I swear I'm changing this button. I hate this stupid dance. I see it every time. The Carolina Panthers will not pursue Deshaun Watson at this time, per rap sheet.
So everybody's out.
And armchair commentary.
So everybody's out.
Yeah. So, and we can officially call that the Tank Spencer kiss of death. Because not 25 minutes ago he said, if a trade happens before the deadline, it's to the Carolina Panthers. Or,
well, you know what that means.
Not.
No trade before the deadline.
I still don't believe that.
I'm putting the kiss of death on it right now. There will be no trade for Deshaun Watson before the deadline.
Breaking news: Deshaun Watson has been traded. I'll tell you in 20 minutes to
the Washington football team, who just doesn't care about the PR nightmare that they're bringing on to themselves.
Yeah, they don't really seem to care.
No. Oh, R.I.P. Gunther. He gets 2 days of mentions.
He does.
Nice.
It's because it's my favorite show of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Loved Gunther.
Next up in the power rankings.
And I don't know what to do with Kansas City
the
Chiefs.
Kansas City Chiefs.
I do not know what to do with Kansas City.
I have the Kansas City Chiefs at 15 in my power ranking. They dropped another 5 spots this week after getting shellacked by the Tennessee Titans. And you know what? I still don't believe it. I still don't believe this is real.
You really don't believe they're this bad?
I don't.
Here's the thing. I don't either.
Okay,
but I don't think they're that good either.
I'm not saying they're still, they should be in the top 5. Is there a path to that? Probably not. The defense has atrophied year after year.
Do you know where Vegas has them right now?
6.
You're too low. They're 5.
Yeah.
They're 5 in the Vegas power rankings.
Yeah.
And Pat Mahomes and Tom Brady are still the 2 best quarterbacks in the NFL, according to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes this so hard. A lot of people anytime we do videos like this, you're just not watching on Kansas City. No, we are. We just don't know what to do with them.
Right.
If Tyreek Hill comes back healthy and Pat Mahomes becomes himself again, guess what they are? Way better than 14.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to give you the, without the grand unveil, but be really honest. If Pat Mahomes becomes Pat Mahomes, are they not better than the Saints, Colts, and Ravens?
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for somebody to get angry about the Ravens being at 11. And I know it's going to happen.
Oh, where's Steven?
I don't know.
I haven't seen Steven's name yet.
He got into a bit of a whiffle yesterday with a Bengals fan.
He did.
He got into a trifle. But that's the problem with Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
I just flat out don't know what to do with them.
Yep.
Because unlike what Armchair Commentary said, there has to be a little bit of projection.
Mm-hmm.
Not as much as Tank does, but a little bit. And I still look at them and go, damn it, if you just halfway figured it out, you're better than a slew of these teams that I'm putting in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
So I waffled.
Havoc says the Bucks put the Chiefs in the coffin and the Titans nailed it shut.
And
no, they didn't. They did. Okay, maybe they did. They come out and lose to the Giants on Monday Night Football. I'll be on your side. This is done. This is dead. This is what?
But see, that's needing to see too much.
Okay.
Now you're physically you're being that crazy person that refuses to see somebody died until you see them in the box. I mean, that's just asking too much for an analyst, in my opinion. But here's the problem. Look at what they get after the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
It's a murderer's row.
Mm-hmm. You have to get right this week against the Giants.
Because then you go Packers, Raiders, Cowboys, Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, Steelers, Bengals, Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of potential losses in there.
And you know what every one of those teams can do. They can get after Patrick Mahomes and make him uncomfortable, which is exactly why he's thrown 9 interceptions this year. And all of the mistakes have come. They've had some bad luck, but it's been something is off. They're pressing too much. They got to get back to basics. I think it was Dante Stallworth I heard the other day on radio talking about the Chiefs, and if it were his team, we're going back to basics. We're going back to day one of training camp. We're going to the first offensive install and going, this is what we need to pound. We need to get back to what we originally planned to do. We have been relying too much on Patrick Mahomes to play Magic Man and extend every play. And I get that's kind of necessity because he's not getting the blocking from his offensive line. But you cannot continue to let him bail you out.
Well, here's the thing.
Or make him bail you out.
When you don't have a threat running the ball and you're unbalanced, your margin for error is just so slim. And they don't have much of one. Pat Mahomes has to be otherworldly or this team's not good. And so that's how you end up at 14.
Yeah, and if you're ready to bury him, if you're ready to bury Patrick Mahomes, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about everybody else. Whoever it was, I've already forgotten who said it in the comment section. Yeah, Havoc. If you're ready to bury him, okay, but you realize you're burying at least the second best quarterback in the NFL.
And I think this falls somewhere in between. This is what happens when you do crimes. The truth is somewhere. You get two stories. The truth somewhere in the middle. I'm not ready to bury them, but I understand why you would be. I'm not just putting my fingers in my ears and going, no, they'll figure it out. No, they'll figure it out, like you are.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in the middle, and that's where I think I'm at 14.
Okay.
I still think they're a back-end playoff team. I still think this is a team that nobody wants to see in the playoffs.
Nope.
Nobody.
Nope. I have them at 15 in my power rankings this week. It's the lowest I could take them. Now, you lose to the Giants, like I said.
Well, they're not going to lose to the Giants.
No, they're not going to lose to the Giants.
But their record at the end of this year could be bad.
This is the turnaround week. This is the week when they can take some time, get it right, and then focus on those big matchups that they got later on in the season.
Ron George said, like I said, this is the Seattle dynasty all over again. You know what? You may not be wrong. I could see a path where Kansas City looks a lot like Seattle 5 years from now. You just couldn't keep all these players together. Some of them atrophied. Some of them got old. And then when you don't have Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, all of a sudden Pat Mahomes looks way more mortal. A boy said they're going to lose to the Giants. Stop that. I can't go with you on that. You've become one of my favorite people, but I cannot go with you on that. Because the Giants are dookie water.
So the New Orleans Saints are ahead of the Kansas City Chiefs.
And it was close. I didn't want to be really honest with you.
Okay, thank you. Because I was starting to think, are you still drunk? The team that you saw last night.
Can the Saints, it was 2 nights ago.
Or 2 nights ago,
Can the Saints still stop people? Yeah. If they can get after the quarterback. This is a team that has a really good pass rush at times. I saw a really good pass rush against Seattle. Seattle's offensive line's no worse than Kansas City's. Do I see Cam Jordan just harassing the hell out of Pat Mahomes? Yeah, I do.
Yeah. I don't think that they would. I don't think I'm there. Again,
and how do you stop Alvin Kamara?
That's a great question.
That's the problem. This is what I did this with Kansas City and like 10 teams. I don't think Baker Mayfield can shoot out with them. I'll be honest with you, I almost had Minnesota ahead of them. I considered it, but I just couldn't get there.
Right.
I could not wrap my head around how that was a thing because I look at that secondary and go, Pat Mahomes would destroy you.
The Indianapolis Colts at number 12. They keep on steadily rising in the power rankings.
Here's my fear with Indianapolis. And I know we've got Anthony Hurt in the comments that's a diehard Colts fan. I am afraid this team is going to be way better than the record says they are. Because their schedule is ugly. Literally, without verifying this, they play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They play 5 of the best teams in the NFL. 5 of the 8 best teams in the NFL. Now, you also catch games with the Jets and the Jaguars and the Texans and the Jaguars again and the Patriots. So that's 5 wins. I think their baseline's 8 and 9.
Yep.
If you win a couple of these games that you shouldn't, because those teams are better than you, then you can be 10 and 7. You can be a playoff team.
Okay.
I think talent-wise, they are better than every team underneath them on my power rankings. And Carson Wentz has not been great. He's been good. That's all Carson Wentz needs to be. I just need you to be A good, serviceable NFL quarterback. That's it. I don't need more than that. Jonathan Taylor is good enough to be the best player on this team and to still be a playoff team.
I would agree. You got Michael Pittman and Carson Wentz looking like they have some kind of a budding connection there. Pittman has easily taken over the number one role. Again, I have very little faith, but there's a chance that T.Y. Hilton can come back and still be effective, stay healthy. I mean, we haven't seen him do it yet. He came back for one game, caught 3 balls, and then he's out again. So there's a lot of risk with the Indianapolis Colts. But overall, I feel I kind of see them and the Cleveland Browns in the same kind of boat. Is like, you've got a lot of drawbacks, but the structure of that team and the coaching of that team can be good enough to overcome that against really bad teams.
I agree.
And that's why I have them in lockstep in my power rankings. I've got Cleveland at 13 and Indianapolis at 14, and I actually should have them swapped.
100%.
I should have Indianapolis ahead of them.
The high side for Indianapolis is better than the high side for Cleveland.
Indeed. And then the Baltimore Ravens at number 11. To me, this is too low for the Ravens. I mean, I know they got killed by the Cincinnati Bengals, but they also killed the Chargers. So it's up and down.
I got that.
Mm-hmm.
I got that. The problem is consistency. I don't know how easily replicable what they're doing is going to be in the playoffs.
Okay.
Because the Cincinnati Bengals unveiled them.
Mm-hmm.
They got after them with 4. They made Lamar throw to the hash marks. And like a boy said, hashtag birds aren't real.
Mm-hmm.
This team scares me. And here's why I say that. Name me a team that's this reliant on one player that I've ever liked. Ever. In the 3+ years we've been doing this.
No, I can't think of one.
There you go. That's if Lamar Jackson got abducted by space aliens right now, what does this team do well? There you go. That's the problem. Every team in the top 10, I can take any player out, and there's still a path to you being good.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar Jackson tweaks an ankle, of which I never want to say things like that. That's why I always make up outlandish things to say right there.
Right.
That team's screwed.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't say that about any other team in the top 10.
Okay.
Maybe the Bengals.
Yeah.
Maybe if something happened to Joe Burrow, you would be in that same. But even then, you would have Joe Mixon.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have Joe Mixon. You'd have Jamar Chase that you just get the ball in his hands and watch him do what he does.
Right.
And the defense is pretty good. The Ravens' defense is pretty dreadful most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why, we're to the top 10. And when you see the first 10, or you see the first slew of teams, A, you're going to notice a team missing. B, the first team here is the Los Angeles Chargers.
Mm-hmm. The Chargers coming off a bye week. Look, they're my 10 as well. I still believe this is where the line is for me. This is still where the line is for Super Bowl contenders. I could see a path for Los Angeles making a deep run.
As could I. Here's the problem. I watched a mediocre defense make you look absolutely horrid.
I agree.
And that's just one of those things. I like the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm getting back to that point where I was before of just remember teams that have not been here before. You're going, and I'm going to say this about another team pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
Teams that have never been here before. It's really difficult. It's really difficult to cross that threshold from mediocre team to playoff contender to Super Bowl contender.
Right.
Without taking the steps. I feel like a lot of people put the Chargers directly into Super Bowl contender. I'm not saying I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying I'm taking a step back, just a step back,
right,
and saying I'm putting the Chargers and the Ravens and the Raiders and the Green Bay Packers all together.
Mm-hmm.
Of things would have to go your way.
Yeah.
But you could still be a Super Bowl contender. I think it's more likely that you're a playoff team that gets beat by one of the teams that's not on the screen. So at this point,
yeah. I mean, my only qualm with how you've got them ranked here is how do you have the Ravens behind them, knowing that they just beat the shit out of them 2 weeks ago?
Because I think what Baltimore does plays less in cold weather. I don't see a path that this geriatric combination of running backs is going to play in December.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that's been bothering me about Baltimore for an extended period of time. I understand, but they beat them. I factor that Charger loss in Baltimore, I think you read your own press clippings. So I don't think Baltimore's that good, and I don't think LA's that bad.
Okay.
If they played again, do I think that would happen again? No. So does it get factored in? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not that big of a factor to me.
You think they've figured out enough about themselves in the bye week that if they had to play it again this week, that they'd be able to win the game?
If you told me they played on a neutral field right now, Chargers plus 3.5, I'd take the Chargers.
Okay. Neutral field, I could see that. I've got the Baltimore Ravens at 9.
And I'm not telling you you're wrong.
Yeah, the one team that you have in the top 10 is a team that I'm just not ready to put them there.
Let me guess. The Las Vegas
The
Raiders.
Las Vegas Raiders.
You're never good. I'm convinced until you see it hit you right in the face, you're not going to.
I mean, I got them at 11.
Oh, I guess that's some kind of growth now, isn't it?
I just don't see how I can put you any higher.
I don't see how you can still undersell this team. I really don't.
Okay. Who have they beaten? The Ravens in week 1. That's it. That really impresses you.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, you lost to the Chargers. You got handled by the Chargers. We've talked about the Bears loss. I give them a pass for that one. But then you beat the Steelers, the Dolphins, the Broncos, the Eagles.
And
you're getting ready to get the Giants. So
and you know who I could say that same thing about?
Who?
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Buffalo Bills, and the Green Bay Packers. I can say the exact same fucking thing.
Okay. I'm going to go back to that. We've seen you do it before. And we know how good you can be.
And that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Vegas guy. I have to beat the books. So I have to see it before they see it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I've seen it before they see it with the Las Vegas Raiders.
Okay.
The fact you could lose your best player hours before a game. Now, granted, it was against the Eagles, and I don't think the Eagles are good.
No.
But you lose your best player, your best offensive weapon, and the thing that makes you so multiple an hour before the game kicks off, and you still went out there and beat the absolute sin out of them.
Yeah, and made
That tells me
history.
everything I need to
And
know.
your quarterback made history. I'm not trying to. I'm really not trying to still undersell Derek Carr. I think everybody's jumping on this. Oh, the Rich Bisaccia bump is real. Sure. All right.
Well, it's 100%. There's no doubt it's real.
They're 2-0. They beat 2 really bad teams in the last 2 weeks. They're going to face another one coming up after the bye this week. And, you got winnable games after that.
Vegas sees how many quarterbacks in the NFL is better than Derek Carr.
Vegas sees how many quarterbacks better than Derek Carr?
How many quarterbacks do you think they see is better than Derek Carr?
8.
It's 11.
Okay.
He's better than, and this is the list in order. This is not an opinion. This is coming straight off the Vegas list. Ryan Tannehill, Joe Burrow, Jameis Winston, Teddy Bridgewater, Trevor Lawrence, blah, 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 blah. They have him as 2 full points better than Joe Burrow.
Yeah, it's impressive.
I'm not saying I agree with
Right,
it.
that's
I'm
impressive.
just saying that's how Vegas sees this.
That's the one I shake my head out. All those other ones, in. Give me Derek Carr before any of those other quarterbacks.
2 points over Ryan Tannehill. I'm shocked that you didn't grimace at that.
No.
God, we've used the word grimace a lot in this show.
It's because you can't get butt plug out of your mind. You heard butt plug and you started salivating.
No.
Which is gross.
No,
You do. Jeremy loves his SBS. Yeah, the Raiders are outside the top 10 for me. I feel like all of these teams are better than you. And yes, that includes the Cincinnati Bengals, which we'll get to in a second.
Notice they're still not on the screen.
No, they're not. Elsewhere in the top 10.
Getting there.
Yeah, put it
There it is.
There we go. Green Bay Packers at 8. Tennessee Titans at 7. I have the Tennessee Titans at 8. Green Bay actually in my top 6. So we're not far off on the Packers. And I really don't think I care about tomorrow. Now knowing that Devontae Adams isn't there.
But does that not tell you everything you need to know?
What do you mean?
I can't get away from this.
Mm-hmm.
Does the fact that one receiver not playing makes this a touchdown swing not tell you everything about that team you need to know?
Absolutely. They're thin as hell.
And I look at every team I've got in front of them, and they're not.
I have Aaron Rodgers. I have Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones, and you know what? For 1 week, I can go without him, take a loss, and it's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt anything down the stretch. It's a game we probably were going to lose anyway.
I'm going to do the same thing with the Green Bay Packers that I did when the last presidential election happened.
Okay.
Tell me why the Packers are good without saying Aaron Rodgers' name.
I mean, you can't.
There you go. That's the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he's markedly better than any of the quarterbacks that are in front of him on this list? The answer's
yeah.
no. The answer's no.
Come on. Aaron Rodgers and Matthew Stafford are not equals.
They're much closer than you think, and Matthew Stafford has exponentially better weapons.
Oh, I agree with that.
I mean, exponentially. Well,
I
here's the
thought we
thing.
were just
You have
talking
to
about quarterbacks.
Well, and that's fine, but you have to take that into account.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a fuck how good of a quarterback you are. Dan Marino never won a Super Bowl. Why? Because he was throwing to a bunch of dudes that ran like me.
Right.
That plays a part in it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just put your fingers in your ears and go, nope, that does not matter. It 100% does. Devontae Adams is going to miss this game. Name me a receiver that will lace it up for this game.
Randall Cobb.
Woo! A guy on his fourth team in, 6 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm good.
Equanimous St. Brown.
Don't care.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
Insert mediocre receiver name here.
Mm-hmm. But for the projection of the rest of the season, how much does it really matter? It doesn't.
It does matter. It 100% does matter. Why has this team not been to a Super Bowl in over 10 years? Because the weapons suck. Because the weapons suck, and one of the two weapons that you actually have, you refuse to use.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yet somehow I've still been in the NFC Championship game 3 years in a row.
Cool. You know what that in a dollar will get you? A fucking Coke.
Okay.
Doesn't mean a jack lick of shit to me. The Tennessee Titans 2 years ago the Houston Texans were in the AFC Championship game 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that means to me? Not a damn thing. Be really honest with yourself. Bet your house they're going to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Arizona Cardinals, the LA Rams. I'm forgetting a team in the NFC.
Dallas Cowboys. No.
There you go.
They're behind all of those teams.
There you go. Comfortably. I don't think it's even close. Armchair commentary said because they drafted Jordan Love instead of a receiver.
Yep.
Oh. God. There's too many things over there.
You have to work on your bell skills.
There it is.
Your bell skills are lacking, my friend.
I have tremendous bell skills. I'm a bell hawk.
Right. So you got the Packers at 8, and okay.
I do.
Fine. I have them at 6. It's not like we have a marked difference between the two.
And I'll be honest with you, I think I have Green Bay too high.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I'm looking at some of these teams that I got behind them. I think I have them too high. I think they should be behind probably all three teams that are behind them. Because those three teams are all way more complete than they are.
There's no shot that they're behind the Raiders.
To you.
Yeah.
Derek Carr decides to go whack surfboards. Aaron Rodgers goes to play the ukulele in fucking California.
Green Bay
Which
Packers
team's
are better.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
You are out of your fucking mind. Name what? Hell, I'll go one step further. Name a position group where they're better. Anyone. You just tell me.
Running back. Running back.
Not by that much. Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake's that. Okay, you could have said kicker right there, and it would have meant just about as much as running back means to me.
Okay.
Pass rush, who wins? It's the Raiders, and it's not even fucking close.
Mm-hmm.
Secondary, who wins? Raiders, not even close. Weapons, who wins? Raiders, not even close. Offensive line, who wins? Raiders, not even close. You're out of your gourd if you think that you take Aaron Rodgers away from the Green Bay Packers. I'll say the same thing I said about the Seahawks. Aaron Rodgers is not a Green Bay Packer. That's a bottom 10 team in the league. Period.
Mm-hmm.
They're not good at anything else. And I have to acknowledge Havoc, or I think he's going to have a stroke, because I think he said this like 5 or 6 times.
What did he say?
Who have the Packers beaten? Bingo.
Mm-hmm.
You beat the Cincinnati Bengals in one of the weirdest games I've ever seen that had 14 missed field goals.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's comical to me that you actually think the Packers are better 2-53 than the Raiders are.
Yeah.
Hey, you still haven't answered my question. What are they better at? Oh, they're better at running back and kicker. Well, fucking sweet.
Okay.
I mean,
Offensive line.
You're out of your mind.
With David Bakhtiari coming back, they're not better?
David Bakhtiari's not back yet.
No, he will be back, though, in 2 weeks.
And whoop-de-doo.
Uh-huh.
He's coming off a bad injury. You have no idea what he is. And he's 36 years old.
Okay.
You have no idea what he is coming back. And that line's been horrendous.
Okay.
I mean, to me, it's not even close, especially since Alex Leatherwood went to guard, because that Raiders line is markedly better right now. And I'll be honest with you, at this point, Colton Miller and David Bakhtiari are pretty fucking close. I would still take Bakhtiari, but not by much. Not by an overwhelming amount.
Okay.
So that's one of the crazier takes to me that you've had in a long time.
That's
because
fine.
Aaron Rodgers is proof positive of how much better a good quarterback makes mediocre players. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, I'll go one step further. Name 3 non-mediocre players on that team.
3 non-mediocre players on what team?
The Green Bay Packers. That are playing right now.
Preston
so no Jair
Smith.
Alexander. Preston Smith is...
Non-mediocre.
I mean, what do you want? The Pro Football Focus grades? Because everything I'm going to say is going to make him sound about as average as humanly possible.
Okay.
Because he's not a complete player. But, okay, I'll give you that one. I'll just tell you it gets real hard to do this real fast.
I get it. You got Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon.
A.J. Dillon's a backup running back. But do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
This is why, to me, this take is just completely asinine. Because the Raiders, name 3 non-mediocre players there. Cool. Colton Miller, Max Crosby, and Henry Ruggs. Darren Waller. Hell, Casey Hayward. Jonathan Abram. I can do that for a while. It's not even close. I mean, to me, it's really not even close. That's just how good Aaron Rodgers is.
Okay.
And that's where I'm at with a boy. God, fuck.
What did he say?
Jets +7.
Yeah, Jets plus
Jets
7.
+7.
Yeah, Rob
this-
Johnson, Jair Alexander doesn't count because he's not playing.
Yep. This spicy hot take from the man that brought you Jets +7.
Anyhow, now where are we at? I'm lost.
Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee Titans.
They're 7.
All right, Tennessee Titans at number 7. There again, you've got a complete offense. Your defense is still bad,
Your
but they're
defense
better.
is markedly better. That Danico Autry, if you remember, if you go back to when we talked about the Tennessee Titans in the offseason, I said Danico Autry is going to be one of those low-key, high-end free agent acquisitions. Well, guess what he is? Guess what he is? Because he's actually been a better pass rusher than Bud Dupree. Now, Dupree's never healthy, so you got to take that with a grain of salt. But still, Jeffrey Simmons and Danico Autry, Tennessee Titans fan was chiming in the YouTube comments earlier this week. And that was the number one thing he wanted to talk about. Pass rush is way better than we thought it was. Everybody wants to talk about the offense. The defense just held the Kansas City Chiefs to 3 points. There's something to be said for that. Do I love the secondary? No. And they're on their 400th corner at this point. But they can do enough.
I like the Titans.
I do too.
And I think that, I got them at 8 this week. And it was hard for me not to have them higher, but there again, you didn't really. I mean, yes, it was impressive because we didn't think that you could do that to the Kansas City Chiefs. The only team that had was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year. The Kansas City also has their own problems that they just keep stepping on their own toes. And so I gave you a little bit of bump, but not much. I mean, I had them at 9 last week. I couldn't go really much higher.
I don't disagree with you.
Are you ready to unveil number 6? Oh, hey, there's a taste bud on the screen.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's not a taste bud. The top 3, or the top
6
through 4. I don't know how to say that.
Hot.
The Cincinnati Bengals.
Yep.
If you had told me before this year I would have had the Cincinnati Bengals at 6 in any power rankings I ever did, I would have said, you are fucking out of your mind. But guess what? I was wrong. I was wrong, and here they are. Because this team is actually pretty damn good.
Are you off of the whole Penny Sewell thing? Has that disappeared for you?
No, because I still think long-term that would have been the better solution.
Mm-hmm.
But Jamar Chase is still fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, Jamar Chase, as good as Jamar Chase has been, now I'm not mad about it.
Yeah.
Would I still have done it? Yes. Because I would, to me, and now there's some projection here, and I'm sure Bengals fans will go, "Oh, you're out of your mind about Jamar Chase, best receiver in the league." I get that. It's a lot easier to find receivers than it is to find tackles.
Bingo.
This upcoming draft, I have 3 first-round grades on tackles.
Mm-hmm.
There just aren't that many.
Right.
So when there's a generational talent there, that's why I said that, and I will continue to say that. That being said, Jamar Chase is unfreaking believable.
He's that dude. Jamar Chase is that dude. And as long as Joe Burrow is healthy and upright, that is going to be that is the most frightening connection in the NFL right now. Here's the problem for me. Joe Burrow's still been sacked 17 times. Mm-hmm. It only takes one, as you saw last year. It only takes that one time for him to get crippled. Hopefully it doesn't happen. But okay. We're 7 weeks through the season, and everybody who's, coming after the they should have drafted Penei Sewell people. Okay. It's worked for 7 weeks.
Mm-hmm. I think it'll continue to work.
Let's see how long it'll work.
As long as you can keep
mm-hmm.
the current line intact.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the problem. And Aboye said in the comments, we drafted a left tackle 2 years ago. Yeah, the problem is he's not very good. And I had him graded as a guard.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other part of this. This is what nobody will talk about when Bengals fans like to go back and say, "Hey, you're stupid. It's Jamar Chase didn't age well."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's the thing. Think about how good your line would be if you had Penei Sewell on the left and Jonah Williams playing guard, which is where he belongs.
Mm-hmm.
That was my only point. Because you would be running the ball down people's throats. That was my only point.
Yep.
Now you're doing this with a mediocre line. Your number 1 rated offensive lineman, do you know who it is?
Is it Riley Reif?
Mm-mm.
No.
I'm checking to make sure that there's
Quentin Spain.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
Aboya asked in the comments, what is Jonah Williams' grade? He's the 32nd best tackle in the league.
Mm-hmm.
He's right there just for posterity's sake because it tends to be comparisons make more sense than grades.
Mm-hmm.
For posterity's sake, he's right around Andre Dillard, who got benched for the Eagles.
So
Andrew Thomas, Lane Johnson, Morgan mm-hmm. Moses for the Jets. That's the tier he's in.
So not great.
It's average.
Mm-hmm.
It's definition of average.
Yeah.
That's actually what makes it more incredible to me what Joe Burrow is doing because literally he's playing with a 7-on-7 roster outside of Quentin Spain.
Mm-hmm. And it's working. And that's great.
Because I have to do mathing here. Quentin Spain is 10 solid points better than any other lineman on this team.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Trey Hopkins, number 1 worst center in the league. I just take all these things into account and realize how good Joe Burrow's been.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the schedule's not been great. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a shit. You can only beat the teams that are put in front of you. So anybody that says I'm too high on the Bengals and that, it's an overreaction and you were so down on it, I was wrong. Yeah, I was wrong. And that's fine. I've always said if I'm wrong, I'll admit when I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm. Something about this offense just works.
It's very good.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to keep everybody on their toes, and their defense is undersold. Trey Hendrickson has been a hell of an addition to that team.
Mm-hmm.
He gives them a legitimate pass rush. The secondary, while it doesn't have stars, they're okay. I'd say they're borderline pretty good.
How many corners in the NFL have a higher PFF grade than Chidobe Awuzie?
12. One? That's it?
It's Casey Hayward.
Holy hell.
He has the same grade as Jalen Ramsey.
Really?
Mm-hmm. This is
now that's pretty shocking to me.
This is the thing that I will say about Cincinnati. This is a defense full of dudes. There's not stars on this defense, in my opinion, outside of Jesse Bates.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. You have dudes that are playing better than they are.
Mm-hmm.
And the sum of all parts is good enough for you to be a contender. Do I think the Bengals can win the Super Bowl? No, I don't. Straight up, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
For the same reason that I don't think the LA Chargers can win the Super Bowl. You ain't never been here before.
Mm-hmm.
So you're asking a lot of players who have no playoff experience to play above their skis. Do I think this is a team that's set up for the long haul?
Yes.
Yeah, I do. I think not only are you set up for the long haul, you're doing it with a coach that I absolutely cannot stand.
Mm-hmm.
Think about how many things are working against Joe Burrow, and you're still the number one team in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
That tells you everything you need to know. Now, here's where rankings work for me. If they played the Buffalo Bills right now, what do I think would happen?
The
I think
Buffalo
Josh
Bills
Allen would do Josh Allen-y things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Tre'Davious White would line up on Jamar Chase, and we would see if T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd could actually carry a passing offense, and C.J. Uzomah, who would get Matt Milano. And I think a team that's already been through the playoffs multiple times and gotten their heart broken, and this is their year, and the chips on the shoulder, and all of those things. Now, that being said, how many other AFC teams do I have ahead of Cincinnati? 0. They're 2. The Buffalo Bills are the only AFC team I have ahead of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see that changing anytime soon. Because their good is really, really good.
Right.
And that schedule's not as daunting as it was
No.
6 weeks
No,
ago.
it's not. You got the Jets, the Browns, the Raiders, the Steelers. All of those are winnable games. You got the Chargers coming up at the 1st of December.
Is there a fan base in
49ers,
the
Broncos,
NFL?
Ravens, Chiefs.
Is there a fan base in the NFL that should be happier right now than the Cincinnati Bengals?
No.
I agree with you.
Not
wholeheartedly.
one.
And it's not even close. I would say the only one even in the ballpark of you is the Dallas Cowboys.
Right. You're too busy playing victim and too busy playing gotcha with everybody who was wrong. Enjoy it. Enjoy the fucking moment because you're Bengals fans and you haven't been here since T.J. Houshmandzadeh and Chad Ochocinco.
You weren't here with them. And I'll be honest,
They weren't considered one of the best teams in the league.
They weren't to this level. This is the best the Cincinnati Bengals have been since the early 90s. I can promise you there's at least one Bengals fan in the comments. If I'm wrong, feel free to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only 34, so going back that far is a little difficult for me.
Nah,
but I can tell you we beat them in the playoffs 2 times.
Yeah, those early 2000s Bengals were the shit. They just couldn't get it done. I always blamed it on Marvin Lewis.
Chris Baker said, don't sleep. First of all, Chris Baker, we're like an AA meeting for sports, so good to see you.
What's up, Chris?
He said, don't sleep on Zach Taylor. I'll be honest with you, I'm starting to come around.
Mm-hmm.
Aboye said 05, they were that good. I was a senior in high school, so.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Those early 2000s Bengals, they were pretty damn good.
Yeah,
I think they were 13-3 at one season, 12-4.
And that's the Carson Palmer years.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I think they were
good with
better.
that.
I think they were better then than they are now. They've proven
it.
more.
I forgot Evan Doyle.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about the Palmer knee injury. I remember that now.
Yep.
I was too busy trying to touch boobies. Sorry. That 01 to 05.
Shame on you.
Yeah, that 01 to 05 period, there was a lot of, hey, boobs. And I don't remember I remember a lot, but every once in a while something like that will slide in and I'll go, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was touching a boob that
Yeah,
day.
we were all wrong about the Cincinnati Bengals. We thought this would be a dog shit team, and guess what? Now you're one of the best teams in the NFL through 7 weeks.
Rob Johnson is the one tied to Chris Baker, so they have an entry into our Wolfpack in Vegas contest here through the Sportsocracy.
Yeah, get in on that. That's going to be a whole lot of fun.
That is going to be a debaucherous time. We're going to do a lot of debauching.
Where Jeremy will come home broke and hungover.
And I'm actually getting married the next week. So my wife has made it very clear that I have to show up in Georgia for the wedding sans mule.
Yes. Good job, Amy. Good fucking job.
Can I trim the mule?
No. Out.
Can I maybe
No.
cough it? Maybe a perm? Maybe look a little Kenny Powers?
No, hopefully it'll be gone by then. Hopefully it'll start getting warm late March and you'll go, you know what? This has really gotten out of control in the last 4 months. It was fine to have the winter mane, but now we need it gone.
Well, it's winter now. So, this is the time for the
yeah,
main to flow.
but what I'm saying, in the next 4 months, it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get longer. It's only going to get grosser.
I'm going to look like the Cowardly Lion by the end of the Put him up.
I'm surprised she hasn't making you cut it yet already. So you're already on borrowed time with the mullet.
We do not make each other do things that we don't want to do.
Mm-hmm. You're not married yet.
So
just wait.
That's what a healthy relationship does.
Yeah. You're not married yet. Just wait. Married guys, you're with me. All right, Cincinnati Bengals number 6. We've said enough apologies. We can move on from the Cincinnati Bengals. I will still just leave you with this. Cincinnati Bengals fans, enjoy the shit out of this.
Yeah.
You get to take your victory lap on everybody. I get it. Easy with the spiking of the football, though, because you're just one play away from being shit again.
Yeah, by the way, I have to say this on camera. So last year, we did draft content every single day from the end of free agency until the day of the draft.
Mm-hmm.
You're wanting to spike a football on me about Jamar Chase. Cool, that's one. Name the other one I missed on. Oh, Justin Fields. You remember how I bashed that drum for 3 months?
Mm-hmm.
I did pretty well at this.
Mm-hmm.
So, that one, cool, great for you. And I love the Evan Doyle. Evan Doyle said we haven't mentioned his name since the rise of the Bengals. And I feel like that's not true, but if it is, we need to correct that. Mm-hmm. Because Evan Doyle is the original A1 gangster Bengals fan that was with us from the jump.
Yep.
So we love having the Bengals fans. I do love seeing that little heat thing on our viewership maps in Ohio. I'm just a huge fan of that. So
okay.
I'm all in on the Bengals.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Wrong button. Do.
And at number 5.
The Dallas Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys at number 5. I mean, what is there not to like about the Dallas Cowboys?
Not a
the
lot.
fact that they give up a whole bunch of yards, okay. They're winning games left and right, and I don't see that train slowing down anytime soon.
I don't either. That team's incredibly good.
Mm-hmm.
And to be really honest with you, I think Dak Prescott has another gear that we haven't even seen yet.
Well, hopefully he's not going to be ailing. It would have been a questionable call if they had a game this past week of whether or not he'd have been on the field. And this week, you're going to have it all back. You're going to have Dak Prescott on the field and, playing the Vikings. I would expect another shootout-y type game. Or do you just see them coming out and crushing the Vikings?
Dallas?
Yeah.
I can see that being shootout-y.
Yeah,
that's going to be my
that's
favorite.
What I think.
That'll be one of my favorite fantasy games this week.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, how many quarterbacks have higher PFF grades than Dak Prescott?
None.
It's 11. He's 12th.
What?
He's 12th.
See, this is why I hate your game.
It's because my facts don't care about your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, Dak Prescott's got another level that you ain't even seen yet.
Yeah,
That's the scary part.
Who's the number 1 running back?
Number one? No. That was for a position. The number one for one criteria. The number one running back is it's still Tony Pollard.
Is it Tony Pollard?
Yeah.
Stop that.
You know who 2 is? Khalil Herbert.
Oh, Khalil Herbert. Yeah.
They've also played markedly less snaps than, and that is a little skewing.
I get that. But when you say there are 11 quarterbacks better than Dak Prescott, no, there's not.
By PFF grades, are right.
Mm-hmm.
That takes in everything.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, he's got another level that you ain't seen yet.
Which, that's frightening.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
That is very frightening. At number 4, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I can't put you any higher because your secondary is brutal.
Indeed.
But I am starting to see things with that defense, and maybe it's because you're playing bad teams.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But I'm starting to see things with that defense where I go, okay, now we're getting back to what it was I was expecting you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Shaquille Barrett, I want to say it was 4 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. He was in the 40s among edge defenders. He's 10 now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah. Let me see more of that. Now, they have played the Dolphins, the Eagles, and the Bears the last 3 weeks.
And I'm not disputing that.
And that will help anybody's PFF stats.
I don't disagree with you.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm starting to see things. The only thing is that I just can't favor them over the 2 West teams.
No,
I can't.
I can't
Those
either.
two teams are more complete than you are
Right.
at this
We've
point.
already-
You have Brady, which is keeping you ahead of Dallas and Cincinnati and Tennessee and the Packers.
Yeah. By the way, we are in lockstep on our top 5. Same exact ranking for all 5 teams in the top 5. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the offense is crazy. Rob Gronkowski comes back fully loaded at the end of the season. This team could be a Super Bowl winner again.
Armchair asks, what do the Cowboys need to leap the Buccaneers? I need to see that step forward for Dak Prescott. I need to see him be superhuman Dak.
Mm-hmm.
Solely because of Tom Brady. I mean, this is another one of those. If you took Tom Brady off this team, how good do you really think they are? They're talented.
They're talented.
But with a mediocre quarterback, they're a mediocre team.
Yeah. Let's see. I just want to look at my power ranking and see where I would put them.
With Mac Jones.
With Mac Jones
who is
at
the
quarterback.
definition of average.
With Mac Jones at quarterback, Tampa Bay would be
I already know my answer to that.
12.
That was exactly my answer.
12. I'd have them in between the Raiders and the Vikings, and they'd be behind the Raiders.
They would be behind the Raiders and that slew of teams for me. They would be the worst of the good teams. So that's something has to play into that because you're splitting hairs here. The top 5-6 teams in this are Super Bowl contenders.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very, very, very thin margin. Armchair commentary said that Kendrick Bourne has a better PFF quarterback grade than Justin Fields. If he had taken enough snaps, you'd be right.
Right.
Oh, that makes me wonder. Has he taken them? There's no way he's
taking enough snaps.
There's no way.
That's what, 2?
Justin Fields is 7 full points behind every quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, he's god awful. He is god awful. So Tampa Bay's number 4. The LA Rams have to be 3. I mean, we've already seen them beat Tampa Bay. They are just the more complete team.
The Los Angeles Rams are 3.
Mm-hmm.
The Rams are 3. And we have moved the Arizona Cardinals to number 1.
Congratulations.
It's not because of this week, really.
Well, no, they didn't prove anything by manhandling the Texans.
So the way I do rankings, and I feel like I have to explain this again because I got this question a bunch of times last week.
Mm-hmm.
The way I do rankings is if two teams played each other on a neutral field, who would win? I could not figure out what are the Cardinals going to do with Stephon Diggs. What finally got me past that is what are the Bills going to do with those quad wide receiver looks where you have 4 guys on one side?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what anybody's going to do with that because I don't know how you defend it. It is just something you do not see in the NFL. It is very uncommon to see alignments like that. And now you got Zach Ertz that makes you that's just another weapon that you have to honor. And so for me, the Arizona Cardinals are now the most dangerous team in the league.
Real quick, I want to do an exercise here. All right, so neutral field, give me the spread.
Okay.
All right, Buffalo Bills, Arizona Cardinals.
This is a neutral field.
Neutral field. What would you favor them by?
Arizona by. It's a glorified pick 'em, so I'll go half point.
Half a point. LA Rams.
And
the Cardinals. We're just working the Cardinals. I want to see what your spread is between them and the top 5 teams.
Neutral field, I'll say Cardinals minus 1.5.
Okay, Tampa Bay.
Cardinals minus 2.5.
And then Dallas.
Cardinals minus. I don't think that one's catching the hook, so I'll say Cardinals minus 3.
Okay. All right.
The Bengals are the first team, and a boy asked me this in the comments. Bengals Cardinals. I would say Bengals minus 3 or Cardinals minus 3.5. I think the Bengals will be the first team that catch the hook off the field goal.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think there is a delineation there solely because the Bengals are one of the teams that have never been here before.
Mm-hmm.
The Cardinals, and a lot of people say that about the Cardinals, the only thing is you got to look at how many players on that team have been. You can buy yourself into I've been here before.
Mm-hmm.
Kyler Murray hasn't. DeAndre Hopkins has.
Mm-hmm.
J.J. Watt has.
Mm-hmm.
Chandler Jones has.
Mm-hmm.
On and on and on and on and on. They've got a lot of vets on that team. So there's something to that. There are a lot of young pieces for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
So I think I would have it. I'd have it Cardinals minus 3.5 if I was setting the line.
Okay.
And that might be one where I'm, just toying with the line going, this might be a field goal and I might get my shit pushed in. But I'm going to try to get people on that side of the line.
Right. Arizona Cardinals, far and away, not far and away, but they are the number one team in the league. You can't argue with it now.
There's just a clear delineation. If you look at the power rankings as they sit, to me, there is a huge break between, and I shouldn't say a huge break. There's a break between 5 and 6. I think there's a drop-off from the Cowboys to the Bengals. There is a cavernous drop-off from 11 to 12. And then I think there's another drop-off somewhere in 17, 18, 19. And everything below that is just dog water. And then you have the cavernous break again between 28 and 29. Those bottom 4 teams are just fucking awful.
They're just awful.
I mean, the other teams in that tier right there are they're awful too. They're not fucking awful.
Right.
The bottom 4 teams are fucking awful. So, it's just an interesting year in the NFL. This is one of the reasons that it's been reasonably, I'm not going to say easy to bet the last few weeks. As things have kind of situated themselves, it's been easier to bet. It's not a happenstance that our records have gotten markedly better in the last 3 weeks.
Right.
I think against the spread, I've only missed like 11 games in the last 3 weeks total. So, with a push, I think I've got 11 losses and a push in the last 3 weeks, which that doesn't sound that great until you realize that there were. Let's see, there have been bye weeks. 13, 14, 27, 41 games. I'm something of the level of like 29, 11, and 1 in the last 3 weeks. I'd have to go back and look, but I know I'm somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah.
It's real easy. If you see a team in that top 11 that's playing a team outside of it, take them. Lay the points. I don't care. There's a huge, huge difference.
And it's funny, if you turn the clock back like 5 years and then look at this power rankings today, how many of those teams were just awful and completely off the radar 5 years ago?
Well, I mean, look at the power rating. The Cardinals were dreadful. They had the number 1 pick 4 years ago. The Bills picked in the top 5 6 times in 10 years.
Yep.
The Rams had the number 1 pick in 2015. Now, granted, they traded up there, but they were bad for an extended period of time. Buccaneers were terrible. Cowboys were terrible. Bengals were terrible. It's the NFL. It's the NFL.
Yep.
It's just the way it works. It's a cyclical league. Nobody's that bad for long unless they're the Chicago Bears or the New York Jets.
Yeah.
Or the Detroit Lions. They're bad forever.
Yeah. We're officially to the halfway point of the season, right? This would be the half
this week.
Oh, it'll be next Wednesday.
It'll be when we do this show next week.
Right. So next Wednesday will be officially the half point mark in the NFL since we have an odd number of weeks now. And I don't see a whole lot changing at the top of the league. However, I said that 3 weeks ago, and here we have the Cincinnati Bengals and the Las Vegas Raiders crashing the party. Who else could come up and make that leap? We don't know, but we can always project it. And, of course, our projections will be right here every week in the Sportsocracy throughout the NFL season. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you get all of our content as it comes out on the channel. Join us live every weekday morning at 10 a.m., 3 p.m.
Tomorrow's Threadbare Thursday. So if you have topics you would like to hear discussed on the channel, feel free to send those into our social media accounts. We'll be putting graphics up about that.
Yep.
And if there's something you'd like to hear on the afternoon show this afternoon, we'll be here live at 3 p.m. on ESPN Asheville 92.9, 880 and 1400, and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Plus, we'll be live right here on YouTube. You'll be able to see our faces all nice and shiny all over again.
That's right. We'll see you this afternoon at 3 back here. Hit that subscribe button, share, like, and follow, all those good things. We will see you this afternoon.